Hi everyone, Keith Arkenberg Farms. It's now the last week of March and it is a beautiful day. A little windy out here, not too bad. But yeah, recently I posted a picture on Market Garden Success page that I never realized that people were so adamant about their potatoes and the way they plant them. Show you the picture right here. And I could not believe the reactions or the response that came out of it. So let me show you. Now a little bit of the backstory is, for the past 3 seasons, we've been planting our potatoes in a method that I have come to call the intensive potato planting method. It involves a very close spacing, market garden beds. These 3 beds here, this one, and this one, make up about 1,000 square foot, and we'll get roughly 900 pounds of potatoes off these. Now the important part is to put this all into context. This is the very, very important part to consider. The size we're looking at, the economics we're looking at, the fertility of our soil, and also our fertilizer applications to actually make this happen. You can't just go out in a normal field and do this. Like out here, I've tried this in the past, horrible results just even planting them on regular spacing. You have to have supercharged soil with a large amount of nitrogen to do it, and then you have to know what kind of results you're going to get out of it. Now what really surprised me was not only the number of comments and number of shares a simple post could get, but the fact that everybody was so stuck on the way they are doing it. Why don't you cut your potatoes? Why are they planted so close? Not one of the questions, at least in the first day or so that came in, asked, so how did you do it? Would this work in my context? It's, no, we've done it this way for years and that's the way we're gonna do it. I did too. I have gone to develop a new method, which actually works better for our market. Again, market gardening is all about context. You really, really want to have a plan that works for your farm, works for your equipment, and works for you more importantly. Because if it don't work and you're doing it somebody else's way, you're just going to get discouraged, and that's never a good thing. You want to have success doing this, you want to have fun doing this, you want to grow your farm, you want to enjoy the whole entire process of doing this. And I'm going to take you back and forth through different clips that I've shot doing this method over the years, and also the way we originally started. And for everybody that wants to know, yes, we do cut our seed potatoes, but when we have little tiny ones that are that big, there's no reason to cut them. A lot of what we do, we have to order them in bulk, so we order in roughly 50-pound bags. So if I have a single row here and I need 40 pounds of seed potato, that's going to do it uncut. Why would you spend the time actually cutting them? So here's the way we did it originally. Oh, this was back, I believe, in 2020 when we were planting them the traditional method. So now they've had about a day and a half to 2 to heal. But now I'm just going to plant them every foot. I found zero advantage whatsoever of planting them closer. And the easiest way to do that is just to measure it using, well, there it is, my foot. So the results from that method gave us real big potatoes, you know, not bad, great for eating, but not for our customers at the market and the markets that we have. Our customers want little bee-sized potatoes. They want something about that big. They don't want things baseball size. They can go buy those from the grocery store for like next to nothing. We have to sell a premium product that people want so we can get a good price out of it. Otherwise, we're just wasting our time planting this stuff. You gotta remember, if I can get 900 pounds of potatoes out of here, and we sell those in a 1.5-pound bag for about $4, $4.50, somewhere in that range, then what I'm looking at is 600 bags of potatoes. That's $2,400 off of 3 beds. And these are all 90-foot long beds now. So you really have to put that into context. When you go into actually planting them, we're looking at planting, you know, about $75 to $100 worth of seed potato. We'll have maybe 15 hours worth of planting and then maybe another, let's say 6 hours of harvesting. So we'll just say that's $200 worth of labor. So right now we're up to $350. Then we got water, which this is our greens bed, so that's kind of on the side. Fertilizer, another bag of fertilizer, so about 40 bucks. So that puts us up to about 400. So roughly we can bring back, I don't know, around $2,000 off of these 3 beds. Now, if I take that and divide it by 3, we're looking at about $600 a bed. So that we're not talking huge money off of this. And that is for having this taken up until about July 1st through the mid of July. So that's eating up half the season. For basically on my market beds, we're getting $300 a bed. A lot of crops do way better, but we also store our potatoes all throughout the season. So here's the way that we actually planted last year, and I'll show you that. Got our 2 trenches opened up. They're about, I don't know, hand deep. So, I don't know, 6 inches or so. Perfect B-sized potato. Again, these were a lot larger, so I had to actually cut them. I cut these about 2 or 3 days ago, so they've healed off. Yes, I'm gonna put 100 pounds of seed potatoes in these beds, about 50 pounds per bed. The goal and the reason behind that is because I want those nice little B-sized potatoes. At that time, I kind of staggered them within the row thinking, oh yeah, I'll give them a little bit more space. It did maybe until I healed them. When I healed them, it pushed them all right back in the center, so everything was coming up through the center. No staggering whatsoever. Also, when I went to harvest them and I pulled a middle buster through, they were on both sides of the bed, so it didn't really uncover them that well. They kind of pushed off the side and then fell back in rather than just bringing them up to the top. The one thing I do want to note, we use that 6-inch spacing here, and we can do that because you can probably hear it in the background right now. We have lots of wind here, we're wide open, we don't get continuous rains for days on end, so we have almost zero risk or concern about getting any kind of fungal diseases inside of these. If you're in a rainier, wetter environment and you don't have good open area like this with good airflow, you probably do want to space them out further because you have other things you have to worry about in the process. Another thing, potato beetles, not a big problem here. They hit the eggplants more often than anything, so I really don't have to worry about them on the bed. They're one of my crops here, the potatoes, that I can literally plant, hill twice, and harvest, and that is literally all I have to do with them. So it makes them really, really simple and not that much labor involved. Another very important part of this is the amount of fertility we actually put into these beds before we plant. We actually add a 200 pound per acre nitrogen equivalent to these beds pre-plant. Now that's way more than you usually would for potatoes, usually around 100 pound per acre nitrogen equivalent. That's how we're able to plant these so close and get such a high yield out of them. If you were just to plant your usual 100 pound per acre nitrogen equivalent here, you'd end up with little tiny potatoes all the way through. And that's what people get, and that's where they get confused on the process. That's where the soil health and the input really, really matters. And don't forget, head over to arkenbergfarms.com, scroll down near the bottom, digital tools and training, all kinds of cool stuff there. We've got our side openers, like that greenhouse over there for sale. Those are a must-have if you have a greenhouse, because then you don't have to open and close it every day. We've also got our door actuators, same great thing. We got them on the ends of the caterpillar tunnel right there. Don't have to open and close them. Also got custom designed Jang rollers there, our awesome Jang roller holder, many spreadsheets, and the Market Garden Farm School that we're just opening up and building on. So go check it out. So finally we get to the actual harvesting part. Now harvesting is a little bit time consuming because we don't have a potato digger, we just have a middle buster that just kind of pushes them out to the side. Takes a little time, we'll see that, and then I'll show you the final results. So I just did 20 foot of bed because I want to kind of get a bearing of what the yield's going to be. And I'm really, really happy with what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a bunch of B-sized potatoes, which are your middle ones, and they appear to be everywhere. Let me turn you around and show you what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing really, really good yield in here. I'm really loving what I'm seeing. That's about the biggest potato I've found so far. But most of them are these little small ones. These are your B size. This is exactly what I want. This is what our customers love. Here's what I got. A lot of potatoes. Very, very good amount in here. So as you can see, out of 2 beds, we got a huge amount of potatoes. We still actually have about 50 to 75 pounds left. But the real trick is that we have a specific area that we store them in so we can store them for a long period of time. This would be completely pointless if we couldn't store these for 6, 8, 10 months. because they'd start sprouting, they'd go bad. So that's where it really comes into context as well. But again, I can't really, never imagined that talking about potatoes and just putting up a simple picture, say, hey, try this, experiment around, could bring so much, I don't know if I want to say necessarily negativity, but I did have someone actually say, oh, is this your first time planting potatoes? Which that's when I actually edited it and put the little comment below that I'm sure everybody that saw, and if you haven't seen it, head over to Mark Garden Success page, join. As far as I know, it's still up at the top. It's getting shared like crazy. So that's where that's at. That's where I'm leaving it. And that pretty much ends it. So hope you all liked your Saturday. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all. Have a good day. Hey, it's like magic. I love it. It just got cool enough in there, rolling back down on its own. Don't have to worry about it, think about it, do anything with it.